FNAF songs, oh FNAF songs. If you've been in this community for longer than a week, chances are you've heard at least one of them. Even people who aren't in the community are aware of their existence. I myself, as a person who listens to FNAF songs quite frequently, noticed that there are quite a lot of them about a certain character. You may know him because, you know, he caused the entire story to happen? Seriously though, ever since FNAF 3 came out, people have been making songs about William, and for good reason. He's one of the coolest video game villains I know, and he's got a lot of different variations, all of which have their own songs. Now, before I could even start ranking them, I needed to actually identify which songs count as Afton songs, and find them all. So here are the criteria that make a song fittable for my list. First of all, the creator specifically stated that the song is about the guy. Second of all, the lyrics are supposed to be sang by William. Third of all, it's literally in the title of the song. And fourth, fanny songs do not count. Otherwise, the list would just be way too long. If a song fits any of these four, it's on the list, unless I forgot about it. Now, before the actual ranking, let me just say that I'm not a musician. I have no idea how to write songs. I know how to play saxophone though. Do I even need to say that this is all my opinion? I'd also love to know what are some of your favorite songs from this list, because I assure you, people are gonna kill me for some of the placements on this list. Regarding how I ranked them, there aren't any strict rules, but mostly it's the combination of how well the song portrays Willy and how much I enjoy listening to it. And the first place absolutely nails both of these parameters. Just so you know, I'm not just gonna play the songs to you in their order. I'm actually gonna explain why I placed them the way I did. Oops, I did a bad thing. Coming in at last place, we have A Bad Thing by Nightcove the Fox. Now, I think it's a good time to say that I don't think there are bad songs in this ranking. All of them are at the very least pretty good. So why is A Bad Thing the weakest Afton song for me? Well, it's mostly very simple in its structure, which isn't a bad thing in itself, but for me personally, here it gets quite repetitive. And this isn't even the problem of this specific song. Nightcove seems to have a bit of an obsession with Willy, and because of that, quite a lot of songs about him. Most of them are quite similar to each other. That adds up to the repetitiveness. So overall, it's not a bad song, but it's probably one of the few ones on this list that I could skip without hesitation. Your Reality is another song by Nightcove the Fox, and this one actually has some variety in its lyrics, which is good, but that doesn't make me like it more than the other songs on the list. It also has one of the goofiest lines in all of the songs. My evil needs your flesh and bone. And I'm not against cheesy lines, I actually like them, I just don't feel like they fit the tone of Nightcove's songs. Heard It All Before is another song about Glitch Trap by Nightcove, and as I said, the style is almost identical to A Bad Thing. The reason the song is higher in the ranking is because I quite like the idea that William has been a villain for so long at this point that he's surely heard it all before from his victims. Trust in Me is another song about Willy from Nightcove, and I swear we'll get to more music artists soon. It's just that my opinions on Nightcove's songs are quite similar, so most of them are close in the list. This one is higher in the list than the other three because it has a more unique feel to it, and the Feel the Evil Boil Blood part is actually really cool. If the whole song had more parts like that, it would have the potential to be way closer to the middle of the ranking. Springtrap by Madame Macabre? Macabre? I don't know how to pronounce that. You know, I originally wanted to put this one on the last place, but it's kinda grown on me. It's actually pretty good, just not as good as the songs above it. One thing I can say that definitely helped the song over Nightcove's is that there's definitely more going on in it, so it's not nearly as repetitive. I think the main reason why the song is so low is because of, first of all, the audio quality. It's not the most pleasant to listen to, and I don't think I really like the structure and lyrics of this one. Into the Night by Dihusta and Smoke the Bear. So I'm actually a really big fan of Dihusta. I love his music, including this song, but I had to put it this low because while it is very fun to listen to, it's quite simple and doesn't really have much connection to Willie. And after all, this is an Afton songs ranking, and by doesn't have much connection, I mean that it's mostly just a generic I will catch you villain song, which there are quite a lot in the FNAF community, and this one is, I would say, one of the most generic. Again, fun to listen to, but not the most unique. Wolves by Nightco of the Fox again, which is actually 2 songs, because she decided to make a second one with a very similar structure. And the songs, again, fall into the category of slow and simple songs. And you'd think that I say that it gets repetitive, again. But here, I think it actually works quite well. It sounds kinda threatening. I think one of the reasons for that is that there are significantly less goofy lyrics like "My evil needs of flesh and bone." Yeah, I haven't said much about them, but all previous songs by Nightco on the list are full of lines like that one, and that by itself isn't a problem. If anything, I really like stuff like that. I'm a freaking Glory Hammer fan. It's just that the songs seem to want me to take those lyrics seriously. But here with the Wolves, I feel like the lyrics are more thought out. I also like how in the first song there's a line about starving the wolves inside my head, and in the second one there's a callback to that, it's time these wolves are fed. Overall, these callbacks to the first song really make this a small story thingy, which is nice. Watch it burn, 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 burn. Burn by Rocket Music. Now this is an Imagine Dragons song disguised as a FNAF song, and I love it. Also, the toxic/chemical descriptions of Burn Trap make up for a really unique picture of the character. It's a great song. I can't really say much about it, and the reason it's so low is because I feel like it doesn't really elaborate that much on the character, and it's not that unique. Again, it's more of an Imagine Dragons song than a FNAF song. Like seriously, the Imagine Dragons vibes in this one are huge. It's like they took Enemy and remade it into a FNAF song. Glitch Trap by Rocket Music. You'll be surprised to learn that the first time I listened to this song was for this very video, and this isn't the only one on this list that I listened to for the first time for this video. There are actually quite a lot of them here. Anyway, the reason why I listened to this particular song so late is because I only really got into Rocket Music through Total Insecurity, and then got out of it mostly since they started making Rainbow Friends songs. Atomic Heart is fire though, like seriously. That's why I heard Burn before this one. I'd say it's about as good as Burn. They are completely interchangeable on this list. This one captures the mythical fear of Glitch Trap while somehow mixing that with cool rap parts. I don't know how they do it, and it has a bit of a more unique feel to it than Burn in the structure, but Burn is more creative with its lyrics. This just goes to show how consistent Rocket Music are with quality. Send Me Down to Hell, Nightco again. But I actually really like this one. The reason I like this one in particular is because of the way she says, "Send me down to hell, I dare you." Like, William in this one is so cool, he's just like, "Come on, burn me again, I dare you." It's a very cool premise for a song about William. There's also a rap part in this one, which adds to the experience. Encryption of the mind,
there's nowhere you can hide.
Ah yes, Kyle Allen music. I don't know what it is about his music, but the first time you hear it, you're like, this is okay. But something just makes me want to re-listen to it. Even if I didn't really like the song on the first listen, it's definitely some kind of magic. Wait, what was I talking about? Oh right, encryption. Not sure what genre this song is in, because it sounds very similar to the songs that I know are swing, but I'm still not sure what swing is. But you know, I know that I like it. I'm a guy with a playlist of 57 bendy songs. Anyway, even though the lyrics are quite straightforward, which makes them sound a little cheesy, the storytelling is nice in this one. The suspense is felt. Overall, a really nice song, but I can't really put it any higher. Another 5 Nights by JT Music. Something tells me I'll get a lot of negative feedback from this one. It is a classic after all. I'll get straight to the point. I listened to the song for the first time in a long while for this ranking. It was an interesting experience, very nostalgic, but I realized that, well, I didn't really like the way they did the robotic vocals anymore. But while listening to it more to form an opinion, I've grown back into liking them. It honestly adds up to the goofy nature of JT's FNAF songs. They're cheesy as heck, and you know what? I like that. Very fun to listen to. Besides, the line "ashes to ashes, dust to dust, you're gonna burn with the rest of us" is epic. Despite all of that, there are definitely songs on this list that I like more. I'm definitely looking forward to listening to this one from now on though.
Don your fur coat dress and be grateful for my blessing.
Afton's Blessing by Cry Fuse. While you can expect Afton family to be quite high on this list, this recent song, while certainly not bad, I'd even say it's great. I especially like the electric vocals in the chorus. This song tries to give us a perspective on how William convinces his victims, probably Vanessa, to continuously help him, and by the end of the song, I feel like he convinces her that everything she has is his blessing. It honestly kinda shows the manipulative nature of William. And yeah, I keep praising this song, but it's not higher on the list simply because it's just not as fun to listen to for me as the ones above, even though it might be quite good in its storytelling. Gonna Pretend is where the good stuff from DQ starts. I love the creepy electro music with some epicness that he makes. They fit so well to the franchise. This is also quite a unique song because I believe it's more about William before he got Springtrap. What the heck am I saying? If you know some of my videos, you know that I've mispronounced William for Vilem for some reason. So now I have Vilem Auton Springtrap. Yay! He got Spring Locked and his Downfall, which no other song on the list does, and that I feel like is an achievement. Another great thing about DHusta's FNAF songs is that there aren't any direct references to the games in most of them, which makes them more accessible to people who aren't really into the franchise. This one is a perfect example of that. There's also a growing sense of dread throughout this whole song, through both the lyrics and the instrumental. Really nice song, but not as great as the ones above. Follow Me by Tryhard Ninja. Do I need to say anything? Most of you know that this song is amazing. If anything, I should probably explain why it's not in the top 10. And the answer will not make you happy. What was that voice crack? This is one of the older FNAF songs that I've been quite actively listening to for the past few years. And I feel like this song is the victim of me playing it just way too many times. I still really enjoy it, and it does tell William's story really well up until Springtrap, but the songs above are just simply more fun to listen to or have more depth for the character. I feel like this one is just a great example of an Afton song from all angles. It's like the standard, but I can't unfortunately put it any higher. It's Time to Die by DA Games. We're in the middle of the list, and this is the cooler nostalgic FNAF 3 song. And I'll be honest, I didn't expect that I would put it this high on the list when I was first thinking about it. Because the first time I listened to the song in some years, I honestly don't know how long it had been, was Majestic. It's honestly a very unique feeling to listen to old FNAF songs again. Even so, I was a little disappointed by the audio quality. It wasn't the most pleasant listen with headphones, but the more I listened to it, the more it grew on me. Yeah, it's not the best quality. Yeah, it's mega auto-tuned. Yes, DA Games hates it. But something about it just makes you want to listen to it more. Something just feels good about it. It's like at home. I also want to talk about the remastered version. I know many people aren't really into it, but I honestly really enjoy it. It's definitely more clear than the original, and I even preferred the instrumental there. And to be clear, here we're imagining a version that takes the best from both the original and the remake and ranking that thing, that theoretical thing, okay? And I think the middle of the list is perfect for it. And by the way, I'll do the same thing for I'm the Purple Guy and Afton Family. Salvaged by Nate Wants to Battle. Now, my history with Nate Wants to Battle's music is quite interesting because I literally discovered it last year. And can you imagine my reaction to him retiring from nerdcore music a few months after that? I was kinda disappointed in myself for not finding him earlier, but hey, I got a ton of amazing FNAF songs to listen to suddenly. This is actually one of the reasons I want to make a FNAF Nostalgia That I Missed Out On video. Anyway, Salvaged is one of his first FNAF songs, and it's great. There's definitely not enough metal FNAF songs. I mean, would be, if Nate didn't have like 30 of them. I'd also like to state that Nate is one of the reasons I really got into metal music in the first place. I quite like Springtrap's motivation in this one. He's stuck in the suit and the attraction, so all that's left for him is going after the Night Guard. I don't think we knew it was Mike back then, so yeah. Overall, just a great sounding metal FNAF song with thought put into it.
My salvage
Salvaged Rage by Tryhard Ninja. Yes, I put this one above Follow Me. First of all, I like that the song is from William's perspective, and that perspective is actually quite accurate to his perspective at that time in the story. The story of this one is in the Scraptrap era, I think, and the message is quite simple. William has nothing left in him but his salvaged rage. There are also lines about presumably Henry and Michael digging up the past, which are quite cool. And I must say, I love the softer parts before the drops. Overall, it's probably one of my favorite Tryhard Ninja songs, let's say that, and I think it does a better job at sounding distinct from Tryhard Ninja's other songs, because Follow Me sounds quite similar to his usual FNAF songs, because he does have a style that he follows, and this song deviates a little bit from that. Going Psycho. I mean, it's in the title. I feel like this is a pretty good summary of William's story, and you know, the whole FNAF story, progressively going psycho. The actual song sounds creepy at some times and epic at others. Again, D. Husta's music is just way too cool, and this is one of his best works. The whispering parts specifically sound very unique. Definitely one of the things I like about his music. There are also parts in the song that mimic The Ultimate Fright, one of D'Houston's most popular songs, but I actually like them here more somehow. I'd put it even higher on the list, but I won't just because it's not on Spotify. Like seriously, how can you not put such a banger on Spotify? Come on, darling! I'm the Purple Guy is the cooler nostalgic FNAF 3 song. First of all, it's way more listenable than It's Time to Die. Second, the remastered version is almost a direct upgrade to the original as it fixes a lot of the problems with it, and Will's vocals are way better, especially in the Springtrap Has Risen part. The only thing I like more in the original is the pacing and the very fast part right before the chorus. It's just such a bop in the original. Anyway, I didn't put this one this high in the list just because I like it more than It's Time to Die. One thing I feel like needs to be cleared, I have been listening to this one semi-actively for the past year and a half or so, and I'm not even close to being tired of it. It's a very fun song to listen to, and it shows a very aggressive and chaotic Springtrap, and explains why he's like that quite well. It's just a classic, and I understand why so many people love it. Just an Attraction by Tryhard Ninja is a banger rock FNAF song with Springtrap basically playing with the night guard like his toy for his own entertainment. Heck yeah, this song might not be very deep, but it's really fun to listen to. Just the energy of it. I'm sorry, I can't say much more because it's really that simple. It's just a very enjoyable song. Not enough to put it way higher, like in the top 5, but a top 10 is really good. Now that I think about it, I maybe I should have put I'm the Purple Guy here so people wouldn't be as upset because that one is a classic, but... Springtrap Finale by Wait, what? Sky Fixing? Sky Fixing has a very distinct style of the instrumentals in all of their FNAF songs, yet somehow manages to make them all sound different. I like that a lot. They're like themes for different enemies from the same location in a game. This song by itself has a very interesting premise. Here Springtrap basically talks to the listener about his past. He says that he gets and regrets his mistakes, yet still feels that it's unfair that the kids' souls get freed and he's just stuck here. And that is just gold. He doesn't come off evil to a person who doesn't know enough about him. He's literally trying to manipulate you into sympathizing him. By the way, I decided to show some songs from this list to my friend, and I played this song with a collab animation I've never seen before. And in between serious animation, there was just the goofiest Springtrap running animation. And we haven't laughed like that in a while. By the way, if you wanna chat with me and my friends and potentially even talk to me, join my Discord server, thanks. So that alone puts this song higher on the list. Oh, I think I forgot to mention that this song is an absolute bop. I wouldn't put it this high if it wasn't.
Tragedy is drawn to the bitter.
Drawn to the Bitter by D'Houston is like Gonna Pretend, but on steroids. Not only is it an absolute banger, it also tells the story of William's downfall way more thoroughly, but unfortunately at the cost of just a few direct references to the games. Luckily though, they don't feel cheesy or out of place at all. But here's the thing, it doesn't just tell William's story, it also tells about him working with Henry and how their path led to William eventually snapping. I believe this song was made specifically to be released with a Minecraft FNAF animation from Cubicle and the BTTF at the time. I feel like the first time you listen to the song should definitely be that animation to fully understand it, because there's literally a moment in the song that indicates the bite of 83 happening with just the piano playing, and that's just so cool. The song definitely deserves the popularity that it has, that's what I can say. Bury Me in Metal is the newest song on this list. It came out of nowhere and kinda exploded in popularity, and for a good reason. It sounds amazing. Honestly, one of the best new additions to the genre of FNAF music. What's even more impressive though is that it's the first song this guy has ever made. The song itself explores how Springtrap is dead inside, both literally and figuratively. One thing I really like about this song's portrayal of Springtrap is that he's not as aggressive as in It's Time to Die, but not less threatening. He feels like a threat because of his undead presence and not because he's actively trying to say threats. The last part of the song is, I believe, from Michael's perspective, and it kinda tells his motivation for breaking down at all that William's built and undoing all of his mistakes. I put it above Drawn to the Bitter, cause it just sounds cooler overall for me. Yeah.
Somebody save me.
Save Me by Usta. The only two reasons this song is above the previous two is that, one, it manages to tell a lot about the character, not sure exactly what though, I think it's about a glitch trap affecting someone's mind, without actually referencing the games directly, unlike Drawn to the Bitter. And it has existed for quite a bit longer than Bury Me in Metal. Other than that, these three are honestly very close. I love all three of them. This one in particular has some of my favorite things about Usta's music combined. The use of whispers, the loud chorus with epic electric instrumentals, just a very fun song to listen to.
So say and earn yourself a fortune of minimum wage.
Springtrap by Fiction. I bet most of you haven't even heard of this one. And I'm probably right, considering that I've never heard of it before making this video and it only has 10,000 views! I literally have a video with more views than this song has on YouTube. And I made this channel like half a year ago. Dang, it's been so long already. What? Does the YouTube algorithm hate these guys or what? Anyway, the song itself doesn't really say much about William, so I like to imagine that it's being sang by Springtrap to the guard / Michael, and as the successful businessman as he was when he was alive, he just doesn't get why anyone would choose a job in such a creepy and dangerous place for barely any money. Okay, I know that it sounds goofy, but the song genuinely sounds really good and even emotional. I guess Mike's choice of lifestyle really bothered Willie, and it makes sense considering his father. I honestly recommend you go and check the song out, it deserves the attention. I know I could have put it a bit lower, but even without the fact that it's underrated, I genuinely think it's one of the best sounding songs on this list. I especially love the circus-like instrumentals that it has. So yeah, we're in the top 5 by the way. Wow.
You'll never know exactly what it is that came before.
Before by Shadrow. I literally almost didn't include it on the list because I didn't know about its existence and I didn't find it while searching for Afton songs at first. But when a friend of mine told me about it and I listened to it a couple times, it instantly became one of my favorite FNAF songs. First of all, I love chill songs, and there aren't many FNAF related ones. Second of all, I love the attitude of Springtrap and the overall message in this one. So what's the message, you ask? Haha, you'll never figure out the lore! Not literally that, but William definitely doesn't want anyone figuring out what happened in the restaurants and who he was. And there are many lines in the song that support that. Heck, the main chorus ends with, "You'll never know exactly what it is that came before." Considering that this community has always craved for the lore, it's very possible to apply it to us. Furthermore, there's literally a line about FNAF 4 in the song. So long as number 4 does not build on the lore, you'll never know exactly what it is that came before. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's literally a meta line about the games, since I think the song came out before FNAF 4. I also gotta say that I love the guitar in the song. It gives it such a unique feel that's not in any other FNAF song. There's also an acoustic version of the song, which I like not less than the original. Before might not be as small as Springtrap by Fiction, but it's still one of the more underrated FNAF songs in my opinion. It's definitely not worse than the popular ones, I'll tell you that. Afton Family by Cryfuse. Come on, you knew it would be this high. It's iconic and captures the tragedy of the Afton family really well, while also having very unique electro instrumentals. It tells a story about a man who went down the wrong path and is now suffering along with the people he let down. There's no way back too, he's gone too far. I should also probably mention that this song has 3 official versions and a lot of other remixes. The official remix is cool, but I feel like it's kind of worse than the original in some ways. AP Angry Piggy's remix though, I sure hope I didn't screw up that name, is definitely a good one, partially because it makes the lyrics way more distinguishable. The newest version is not electric, it's slow and sad and sounds way more tragic than the original. I'm not sure if that's better or worse, since one of the main plots of the original is William pretending that all is well in the Afton family and that they live eternally, but the Dead Inside version is still a neat addition to the bunch. Overall, this is probably the most iconic Afton song after, you know, It's Time to Die and I'm the Purple Guy. Our Little Horror Story by Aviators is a very special song for me personally, because it's one of the FNAF songs that I used to listen to a lot back then, and it was even my favorite song at some point, I think. And the thing is, somehow I stopped listening to it at some point, and returning to it for this video was so nostalgic and emotional. It's still one of my favorite songs of all time, I think. It's not that special in terms of storytelling, it tells the story of Springtrap, like how he got like that he's a murderer, all the usual stuff. But the way he sings, "Our little horror story's just begun," never fails to give you chills. Like, it's true, the death of William is definitely not close to the end of the story. This one holds a special place in my heart, easily the second place of this ranking and one of my favorite songs of all time. And the first place is of course Purple Guy's theme from the FNAF musical. Okay, just kidding. It's actually Springtrap's theme from the FNAF musical. Okay.
Despite your actions, I always come back.
Always Come Back by Nate Wants to Battle. I'll start from the beginning. This song literally inspired me to make this video. It was going to be on the first place from the very beginning. So why do I like this song so much? I mean, it's in the title. The song is about William's main thing. I'm honestly surprised it's the only song on the list that explores William's tendency to always come back. I almost called him Vilem again. In this song, William literally tells everyone, Mike, Henry, the Vans, no matter what they do, no matter what happens, he will always come back. He doesn't have anyone or anything left, yet he still keeps coming back. At this point, the only thing that keeps him alive is his fear of death. There are so many lines that imply that William has been undead for so long now that he's not even himself anymore. He's just a pile of pain and anger that just can't die for good. My favorite line though has to be, "Running in a lonely race. The finish line's a cursed place." It's just such a cool way to say that he's now alone in this never-ending cycle of hate. I just thought of something. In Afton Family, before the security breach era, William technically still had some people who were somewhat close to him alive. Almost alive. The Afton family living in hell together. Now, when he's burnt trapped, there's literally no one left with him. Another thing I want to bring up is how much this song changes the perspective on Afton's return in Security Breach. It might seem lazy for some people, but for me, honestly, the thought that despite how much has happened over the course of the story, he's always been there. He's the cause of the entire plot. Although, he might not think the same way. In the song, there's a line, "Don't you tell me I'm to blame, you're the one who sparked these flames." Now this line could be aimed at Henry, considering the recent theories that he was jealous of his skills, or at Michael, considering the epic callback to No More, one of his first FNAF songs with the "Maybe one day you'll find humanity. Till then, don't you dare say that we are the same" line, and the fact that he put "crying child" in Fredbear's mouth, or maybe even to both of them. It kinda creates a dialogue between them, and again, just because of that line, I'm leaning more to this being a conversation between Mike and Will, especially considering Henry isn't present in Security Breach, and Mike might be Glam Rock Freddy. I feel like I'd love this song even more if I had known about Nate's music for a little longer. Fun fact, I haven't even mentioned the instrumental yet. It's quite different from Nate's usual songs in that it's slower and I feel like not that complicated. But that certainly doesn't make it worse. It works well for the tone of the song. So all of that makes this undoubtedly my favorite William Afton song and one of my favorite songs of all time. Now, before people kill me for my opinions, I want to mention some songs that didn't make it into this list because of the rules. First of all, Run Run, because I think people are gonna ask me about this one. I like it. It's not on the list since it's kinda just about FNAF 3's mechanics and not our guy Vilem Auton. Both of Doka's songs, as much as I love them, they are about his lore and his version of Glitch Trap, so I felt like they wouldn't quite fit to the theme. All in the Family by Tryhard Ninja is more of a Michael song than a William song. That's it. Other than that, I'd actually put it quite high on the list. We Are the Phantoms is a song about, well, the Phantoms. I know Springtrap is on the cover and in the music video, that doesn't make the song about him. Repair What You've Broken by Dehusta. Now this one, I might just be an idiot who doesn't understand the song, but again, in my eyes, it fits Mike better. But the fact that Springy is on the cover still confuses the heck out of me. Like, he's broken a lot of things, but he sure as heck isn't planning on repairing them. So, yeah. This is it. Making this video was very fun and unlocked a lot of fun memories for me. I'd love you to tell me some of your favorites from this list. And by the way, if I've missed anything, you can ask me where I'd put it in the comments. My opinions on these songs will probably change in one way or another, especially considering that now I have a playlist with all of them. That's actually really fun to listen to. Like, I've definitely spent more than 20 hours listening to all of these, so I could rank them properly, but I still enjoy listening to them, and I even want to listen to them more now that I've analyzed them and I know their purpose and stuff. Also, upon rereading the whole script, I realized that I was perhaps a little too harsh on Night Cove the Fox. Just so you know, I still enjoy listening to her music, it's just that, as I said, FNAF songs are really good, so this list is mostly very tight. Sorry, Night Cove fans, if I have offended any of you, but as I said in the beginning of the video, this is my opinion. Anyway, this is undoubtedly my favorite video I've made, and I hope you enjoyed watching it just as much as I did making it. Please let me know if you did. I'd love to do more similar things. To be specific, I could rank Funtime Freddy songs. I believe there are quite a few of them. I don't think there are as much of them as Afton-related ones, but it would still be fun. Thank you so much for watching if you've made it this far. Bye! Wait, does Die in a Fire count as an Afton song?